Okay, so this was a part I put up last week, guys. It's what are your favourite parts of Raindrop Chronicles stream to watch? And for those of you that are new here, Raindrop Chronicles is basically what I do, what I stream. It's my thing. It's an RPG game, a fun one, a bit of a goofy one that we're all making together. And it's a lot of fun. We're still very much in the early stages. It's going to be, you know, a slow process. Who knows how long it's going to take to finish the whole thing. Probably a very long time. But I'm going to be releasing the game episodically. I haven't pronounced that word. I don't even know. So, episode 1. Who knows? Maybe by the end of the year, episode 1, we might have it come out by then. And yeah. It's so much better than waiting potentially 3 years for the full game. So, but I don't know how long it's going to be because this whole thing is improvised. None of the story's planned. We just write it as we go along. And that's kind of what makes it fun. It's a kind of a bit like how D&D works. It's all just happens as it goes along. So basically I'm kind of just intrigued what you guys enjoy most and like watching the most. Out of like level design and mapping is what we're going to do today. We're going to focus on finishing the last screens of the Everbloom Forest today, making it all pretty, and once we finalise that, we can get the enemies, all their mechanics and skills done, make sure it's all balanced and not too hard or not too easy. We can think about the final boss of the dungeon as well. Once we've done that, that'll be fun. We'll decide together what that boss is going to be. And also the main quest, the very first main quest, the dialogue, the cutscene, and how the story unfolds, and also side quests as well, which will be in our little village Lakefall. And that's kind of like the next steps. Finish the mapping for the forest, finish the enemies and the boss, do the first main quest and start some side quests. And after that, we'll see how it goes, and we'll probably be moving to the next area of the game. We can create a world map together and stuff, and that'll be fun once we start expanding the world. And so yeah, A is level design and mapping, B is battle system mechanics, all the creating the skills, the enemies and items, all the complex bits that involve maths and stuff, which I'm not very good at. And then C for world building, lore and lore discussions, and voting on polls and ideas together for the world. That one's got the most votes so far. That one seemed quite a popular one. It is fun doing that, I agree. And then D is writing dialogue and developing the characters. It's always fun to do stuff like that. Then E, building upon the main story and the plot, which we've started actually, and I've got something related to that I want to show you in a sec. It's to do with an Instagram post I posted this week. And we were working on that last week in stream as well. And F is side quest creation. And I would love ideas from the community for side quests as well once we get to that point. And then G is the scripting, the features, fixing things, the plugins, all the coding and scripting side of things, and adding interesting features like our mini map and quest journal, which we've already done, the crafting system, romance system. Yeah, we can have a romance system. We are. Good thing about RPG Maker is it's very easy to use for someone that's not even really a coder. I think you do need to know your way around software and that to use it, but if you're good enough at that, you'll pick it up fine. And so it's very easy to use, and there's also a really good community for it with lots of plugins, and you can make a decent RPG with it. So we'll do one. We'll do one. And I want to show you guys what I posted on Instagram now. Let's get it up. One sec. Haven't used the Raindrop Chronicles Instagram much, but I'm going to start posting on it more often. So this is I think I'm logged into my Final Fantasy account here. Oh no, am I? Okay, oh no, I'm logged into Raindrop Chronicles. Okay, so this was what I posted when I designed Lakefall, which was a few months back. So we got some images there. I'll be posting some images of the Everbloom Forest when that's done as well. But what I did this week, we worked on this on stream last week as well, is we posted chapter 1 part 1 of the story. So this is at the story so far, the first main quest. And that was submitted by Chuck, who won the poll. He's like, this is all his idea. The first bit in the green text here was written by me. I always start the paragraph off when we write a new part of the chapter, and the community finish it off after the ... bit. And the bit that's all here, these 4 pages, well 3.5 pages, are what the winning submission was, which was Chuck. So basically we're working on this part of the story at the moment, and once it's done, which we're actually getting close to finishing it, this section, we got to do the dialogue and finish the mapping and etc. But then once it's done, we can start the next section. It could have benefited from some intelligent writers. There's definitely things that could have done to make people happier, probably. Maybe just flesh things out a bit more, because but I think the conclusion and how it all came about and ended was fine. But it probably made some people angry and mad because there wasn't enough development leading up to it, maybe. But I was okay with it. Well, that looks cool. Thank you, Hodor. Are you a fan of RPGs, Hodor? Do you like making RPGs or playing them? I'm an RPG nerd. I love RPGs. It's my favourite genre of games, and that's why I'm making one now. So yeah. If anybody wants to have a read, see how the story has begun, if you've not been around in recent weeks, or if you're new here, then Instagram, Raindrop Chronicles is the place to be. I might actually do a bot command for that, so people can have a glance. But in weeks and months to come, we'll have a big Instagram full of stuff, hopefully. We'll I'm not sure how many parts we're going to have in a chapter, but we'll see. We'll see. Well, it depends how it all goes. We're playing it all by ear. So I already have an idea how I'm going to continue the story after this bit. I've been thinking about it. So when we start, I'll be writing a paragraph about this size again. And you guys can submit your ideas for how you want it to potentially go. Hi, Stinky Stuck. I have the thinnest shoulders in the world. Excuse me. You can't make me think I'm muscly and buff, even though I want to be. That would be quite magical, wouldn't it? I've never been to the gym a day in my life. Like, no joke, guys. I've never been to the gym. Ever. Has anyone else never been to the gym? So, that would be pretty magical if I could get buff from not going to the gym, I'd say. I'd be impressed with myself. Okay, so I'm going to just do a bot command. I don't know what to write though. I'll put that in big for you guys so you can see it. Yeah, I don't mind them, but I tend to not finish them just because they take ages to complete. But that's the idea. Yeah, they can be very long. I kind of love that, though. I love a really long immersive game that you can really get sucked into. You like MMO games more so than single player? Thinking about, but I'm not sure if I've ever completed one. Yeah, I understand that because they're so long. Deus Ex, that's a good game. I've never actually played that series, but I have seen people play it and it looks really good. Yeah, it's an FPS RPG. A bit like Mass Effect, I guess. Mass Effect is a well, that's more of a third-person RPG, isn't it? But MMOs are awesome. I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 at the moment. That's an MMO. This game, Raindrop Chronicles, is kind of going to be a bit MMO inspired, because we're going to have like lots of side quests, and there's a mini map as well, and it'll be showing where on the mini map the quests are, very similar to how MMOs are. So it's going to take a bit of MMO inspiration and Western RPG inspiration, but it's kind of stylistically like a Japanese RPG. Okay, so let's think of what to say on this bot command. So I've just got my bot screen up at the moment, guys, which you can't see. But I'll put it in chat once I've done it. Now with my bot, I like to make it a pretty colour. I like to make the text pink. So really enjoyed the Diablo games, more of an action RPG. Yeah, I like action and turn-based. But I definitely agree they're very long. It's like The Witcher 3. I 100%ed that game, but it took me like 200 hours. Longer than that, actually. Very sucked my life away. I got too addicted to it to not play it. So story exclamation mark. Yeah, I did 2 playthroughs of it. I did normal difficulty on the first and deathmatch difficulty on the second playthrough to get all the achievements. So yeah, it was a great game, just very long, and the DLCs were like full games in themselves. So I'd say that the main story of The Witcher 3 is probably, if you try and do all the quests, it would probably take about 100 hours. But the 2 DLCs probably add another extra 100 hours, well, 50 to 60 hours on the game at least. And then the last 40 hours was me rushing through my second playthrough to get all the achievements. Exclamation mark story. Okay, so read the main story so far on our Instagram. So if you click that link, it will lead you to this, and you'll be able to read the story. And I'll be posting a new little graphic like this every time we update the story, just so you guys can keep up to date with it. Because if we didn't do this, it would be very hard to follow the story in the game, especially as we get further through it. You know what I mean? I suppose you could just play the game when the episode comes out to find out the story, but because we're writing it together, people in the community kind of, I like to make it easy for them to find out what happens as quickly as possible. Yay! Okay, so that's a big job that was done, because I wanted to do that for weeks, but it's done now, so yay. And what is our next step then? Oh yes, remember to vote on the poll. So our poll's here, don't forget. I'm going to keep it open for... I'm not going to put a deadline on this poll for when I close it. I just want to get as much votes in as possible. So whenever there's plenty of votes, that's when I'll close the poll. Good value for money then. It really was. It really was. If I'm going to recommend an RPG, it would be The Witcher 3. For sure. It's my favourite one of the last several years. Okay guys, so... right, there's the poll. I've got that on a command, so you guys can vote if you haven't already. So far, world building is winning. People really enjoy lore discussion and world building, which is understandable because I love it too. And right, so we're going to do some level design today. This is my little sketchy plan of our first dungeon area of the game. Lakefall is our little village. We've got our shops here and stuff, and then this is where the game starts. And then we move here, and then we go round and here, and then this is where we're gonna get, where this crosses is where our first boss is gonna be, the boss of the area. And after you've done the boss, there'll be a shortcut that will lead back to the first screen and easy access to the village. So that means you don't have to go all the way back, because it'd be a pain in the ass to do that, right? And so far we've done the first 3 screens. We're working on the 3rd one now, and the 3rd screen is where the destination for the first main quest is. And then there's another 3 screens to get to, and we're going to work on these screens we haven't done today. I want to try and get the Everbloom Forest mapping done as soon as possible. I want to make some good progress in stream today, and by next week's stream I hope to have it all done, and then we can move on to doing other stuff, like getting the enemies finished and sorted out, the boss, the first boss, and then the dialogue and the story, the first part of the story and stuff. So that's the plan. And basically I've just, what's here, these enemies, these are the enemies that are going to be in each screen. So so it's easy for me to remember which ones are going to be there. Okay. And there was something else as well that I realised. The exit. There's got to be an exit that leads to the next area of the game, the next region. So I figured it would fit if, where's the brush? I'm using the blue for arrows. So I'm going to just put that there so I remember. Screen 5, I'm going to have the exit. It feels like the best screen to have the exit. Because I couldn't think what else to put on screen 5. I'd like figured out screen 4 and screen 6, but I couldn't figure out what to put on screen 5. So there'll be like a fork here. One will lead to the boss and the other will the exit, but there'll probably be like something there blocking the way to stop people leaving. Or something, because they're not allowed yet to leave. Hi Stick, how are you doing today? Hope you're having a good Monday. How is it going? How has your week been? Okay, so I'm going to keep that saved, have it minimised, so if I need to look at it, if I get confused, it's there. Okay, I'm also going to get my other map up. Here we go. So I've made a paint file of the Everbloom Forest area, and I've joined all the maps together to make sure it all fits like a jigsaw puzzle. I want it to look good, you see. As you can see in the game, let's get the game up. It's all smaller sections broken down, which works very well for RPG Maker to do it that way rather than one big map. Because especially if you're having lots of events going on, it can create lag, and especially if you're using parallax mapping like I am, it could create enormous lag. So we're having smaller maps. Going to keep them all the same size for consistency. And this paint file here is just me making sure it all works and looks right. So I'll be copying and pasting the finalised versions in here to make sure it all looks cool. And yeah, these sections here look very basic because they aren't done yet. We're very boring. Oh no! Have you been doing anything awesome outside of work? Napping's awesome though. Napping's a good thing to do. I understand wanting to nap when you get back from work, because I did that when I had to work a lot. But I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 mostly in my free time. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I got to level 80 in it the other day for the new expansion. It was really good. If anyone wants to start an MMO, Final Fantasy 14 is what I recommend. Okay, so right, let's begin then. Been rambling on. Here we go. It's actually really cool that I don't have to change the category now. I'm gonna just never do just chatting again. So much easier. But yeah, also I forgot to say, don't forget to follow on Instagram. So if you're following the story, that is. If you don't give a toss, then you don't have to. But yeah, you are going to give a toss when the trailer comes out, because I'm going to make a trailer for this. And it'll be awesome. Everyone's going to want to play it. Okay, So, we've kind of done screens 1 and 2. The flowers are there, the parallax maps are done. There's just a few little extra things that I might add, like shadows of the bridges, maybe. And obviously some cliff decorations, perhaps. And we're working on screen 3 now. I'm going to do a parallax map of that today, probably. And it's mostly done, screen 3. All we need to do is add the flowers and then I think we're basically there. There might be a bit of tidying up to do, but it's mainly finished. And this is the safe, screen 4, which looks just like well, it looks very ugly at the moment, but we're going to make it pretty today. It literally took me a few seconds in the other day to just do this. I was like, yeah. I basically, if we can get the paint map up to see. Right, so I basically, the edge of the previous map is this massive long cliff. The bridge goes over there. This is the exit of the screen, so it has to continue. So we've got this big massive long cliff and a little bit that the player can walk on and a bit of cliff below it, so it has to continue the pattern. But we're not going to have it a big ugly block like this. We're going to make it a bit more exciting. Have some features. We might even have a cave here, and I even thought it would be cool to have a cave and then there'd be a side quest involving going in the cave to do something. So yeah, we'll put a cave here, and it's mainly going to be a straight path, I'd say, and there'll be a few enemies around and stuff. But we're gonna just make it look a bit more natural and foresty like, and make the cliffs more interesting. Hi Rex, how are you doing? And Sonic, how are you doing as well? Oh my goodness, Rex, have you seen? I hope you have, because I'm gonna put them in chat right now, but I feel like I want you to see them first. But I'm talking about your emotes. They are there. I have seen them and they are beautiful. So let me know if you've seen them, and if you have, I'm going to spam this chat with them. Yeah, Rex basically got some emotes commissioned for his channel, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, and they are the cutest. I've not seen until now. Was it me that told you? Was I the one that broke the news to you? Would you be mad at me if I just put them in my chat and you didn't know? I would have spoiled everything. No, go ahead. I'm gonna spam the chat. I'm sorry, I'm spamming this chat with them. Why can't I get to my emotes? Why is it so hard? I blame Streamlabs OBS. Here we go. Yay! Aren't they adorable? My favourite one is this one though. I like that one. I like the derpy ones, and the, you know, like that. The hype's cute too. I like the evil one. You picked some good ones. I think I could find use for them. And yeah, guys, Careless Rex is basically the only person I'm sub to on the whole of Twitch. So, because, you know, he's that deserving. I never sub to anybody. Because I'm frigging selfish and... Oh God, I'm making myself sound awful. No, literally the only reason I don't sub to anybody is because of money reasons. And it's very difficult to your money could soon go. Even at one point about a year ago, I was subbed to probably 3 or 4 people maybe on Twitch, and even that was too much. I was like, holy crap, your money soon goes. And because I don't actually have a solid income at the moment, so it's only Rex now, and I'm glad I've got some awesome emotes to make use of that. That one's my favourite too. Yay! What have you got for your tier 2 and your tier 3? I didn't actually say, because I'm not subbed to those ones, so I don't think it showed me. Okay, right. Rex, you saw our Instagram post, didn't you? I think you liked it. So, yeah. But I'm just letting chat know that it's up there, and we've got a command for that now. And it's pretty boring so far, our Instagram is, but we're going to get... Every time we get new level design and maps to show off, I'll be posting the images here, and every time we get more story, that will be posted here too. I've been tempted to put the character sheets up on here as well, but I don't know. I kind of want the content on Instagram to be exclusive. Like, I'll probably keep these exclusive to Instagram. Because it feels like the right place for those. Okay, and I'm still playing about with window captures and having a lot of fun doing it. Not. Hi Silent and Lost, how are you doing? It's so good to see you. How have you been? How have the last few weeks been for you? Silent and Lost, have you seen Rex's new emotes? Oh my goodness. I hope you have, because it's an exciting day for all friends of Careless Rex. Crack-a-lacking, I love that word, I have to say. Okay, so... Right, Instagram. So yeah, I'm gonna spam chat with commands. So anybody just popping in, or any lurkers or whatever, can just see the Instagram. And this is basically where all the main story stuff is going to get posted, just to keep track of it easier. And we've also got a poll. This poll, just so you can vote on what you enjoy the most in our Raindrop Chronicles streams. It's just good feedback for me to see what you guys say. It'll give me an idea about what to focus the streams around. Yeah, I'm going to keep this open for another week probably, just so we can get more votes in. So C is winning at the moment, world building and lore rambles. I enjoy doing that, so I'm kind of glad that's winning. I enjoy all of it, but there's definitely things I enjoy more. We've all got our preferences. Okay, so let's get RPG Maker back up. Right, here is our very square looking cliff that we've got at the moment, but we're going to make it pretty. And we're going to make it look awesome. So, a good step for doing that is, right, let's have a look how we've done cliffs so far. Is just things like this, making a certain bit jut out. So, that's another map, but we're going to work on that one later. So today, we're just mainly going to do mapping. I want to finish off the rest of the Everbloom Forest. I'm hoping to get that done. I'd really like by next stream to have got all the 6 maps of the Everbloom Forest done. Oh yeah, I was silly doing that because that's already parallax mapped, so I can't. It's no longer a tile set that I can copy and paste, unfortunately. So I'll just have to do it this way. So like basically even just doing stuff like this helps a bunch to stop it looking too straight and perfect. Forests don't look like that, cliffs don't look perfect, so we need to make do this stuff like this to the cliffs. And yeah, we're gonna have a cave somewhere probably. I'm probably gonna have to look for a cave tile set because I don't think we've got one on this map for a cave. Yay! Yeah, it started last year in all. Did they not? I have not. Did they find? I cannot read today. Yeah, they did. We've been waiting for days for them, haven't we? And I looked this morning when I got up and had my coffee and I saw them and I was like, oh my goodness, when I stream today and Rex comes in, I'm gonna spam them in my chat to celebrate. It was a few days, but I was eager. That was still too long. That still took way too long, in my opinion. I expected them immediately. So we're going to just have a mess around, guys, today with the mapping. We might not get it perfect and exactly as we want straight away. Got to have a bit of experimentation with these things. But as long as we can make some progress, because we've been wanting to do these maps for a while. So this bit in the middle, let's make that more interesting. And we're going to do the same for this lower bit here as well, like just make these sections not so straight as well. The bit that's going to be the most time consuming bit though is adding the flowers, guys. I looked at this map that we've already done and I was like, oh my goodness, we're going to have to add all those flowers again that we've done here. But to be honest, it's not going to be too bad because I can just copy and paste the flowers in big groups. It's not like I have to do it one flower at a time anymore. Oh wow, I see them now. They are amazing. These are my favourite to watch. I love seeing you turn a boring rectangle into such a beautiful map. Thank you, Rex. It's quite surprising how easily you can do it as well. Like, I think at first glance it can be overwhelming to think, how am I going to do this? Like when you look, especially when you look at a blank screen, you're like, oh my god, how am I going to create a beautiful forest from this blank screen? But you got to just do it, you know. You got to just get it out. Get it on the map and you can surprise yourself what you can make. But like it just shows like what I'm doing now, just making the cliffs more irregular and parts like sticking out and can make a difference for sure. One of my flaws with design now, and it has been ever since I was at college, probably school actually, is just fussing over things too much and like taking too long and being too much of a perfectionist, and hating what I do. Just putting too much on myself. So it's about like learning to be satisfied with what you do sometimes and get things out quickly. I think that's why I could never do commissions, because I would take far too long, in all honesty. Hi Bird, how are you doing? It's so good to see you. How have you been? My bangs are getting really long, guys. They're going to be in my eyes soon. I need to chop them. I need to cut them. Hey Rose, good to see you back. I am. I stream every Monday now, guys. Every single Monday, consistently. I was on holes recently, so I didn't stream for a few weeks because I was away. But I'm back now, and every Monday I'll be here, and we can see the progress of the project every Monday. This forest reminds me of the mountain valleys of British Columbia when I drove across Canada last year. Oh, that's lovely. I'm glad. Have you got any pictures of it? Is there anything I should Google to see that? Because I'd love to have a little look for some inspiration. I suppose I could just put British Columbia mountain valleys in Google, and then I might say. The appearance of different heights really makes the map seem epic and huge. I know. I mean, I'm really, really happy with these two screens that we've got here. I think personally adding the flowers made such a difference to just making it more pretty. I'm really glad I made the decision to parallax map. I was happy with them even before I put the flowers down. And I hope that we can get the last 4 maps as pretty as those ones. I think once the flowers are here, this one will look a lot better too. Dav, oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
22 months Pulsia Pokchar Izard Pulsia.
I'm a lifeguard. I look like, what am I, some surfer dude? Wow, lovely. I should totally have that as my career. Thank you so much, Dad, for the 22 months. That is a crazy amount of time. Almost 2 years. That is epic. Thank you so much. Let's have some hype and love for Dav, guys. And Cornelius, how are you doing as well? Hope you're well. Let me catch up with chat. But we're celebrating the sub. Thank you, Dav. And thank you for the mask as well. I didn't even know that subs gave masks now. That's really funny. I thought it was just donations that did that. But it's cool. That's a really random one, I have to say. I'm not sure I suit the blonde. Let's catch up with chat. Also, I really like seeing how different each forest screen is. Really well done there. Yeah, I want one important thing, guys, when designing this forest map. I mean, I didn't want to put too much high expectations on myself for the first one because I'm new to this. This was my first ever like level I've ever designed, or dungeon or whatever. I did mess around with RPG Maker when I was a kid, but I was 12, guys. You can't count that. So yeah, this is really my first attempt at designing something like this. And yeah, I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself. I was like, as long as it looks okay. But I started like thinking I really want to make it good when I was doing it. And I was like, I want to make sure every map looks different. I thought, I don't want it to be boring. I thought I want to have variety. And make it interesting to walk through, and I think we've done that. Like none of the maps look the same so far, and even this one, this 4th one, it's going to be a straight path, so this one's going to be pretty easy to get through. There'll be probably a few enemies on the way, but It's just a straight path, very straightforward. So it kind of breaks things up a bit. You've had the winding paths in the first 2 maps, and then you've got the stairs and this bit. So it kind of breaks things up. We don't want too many windy paths, do we? Because then people will be like, oh, this dungeon's taken forever to get through. I'm going to catch up with chat. Overtime makes it look so beautiful. Thank you, Rex. And it looks even better in game as well, because I have a sunlight beam that I created in Photoshop that works as an overlay. So it just adds, having those weather effects really adds to it in game. It obviously doesn't show in the map, on the editor map. Well, nice, Dav. Yeah, I appreciate Dav for all the support. I appreciate all of it. Being fabulous. Nice Moogle. Hi, Lalafell. Oh my goodness. Lalafell, welcome to the stream. Can I say what an amazing name that is? I'm really surprised that name wasn't taken. Good job for you for getting that name. Because, you know, I would have assumed that name would have been snapped up. And I apologise for taking forever to finally welcome you to the stream. I've been rambling on about this game that we're doing, and I'm really behind with chat. One of the main sections you drive through is called Glacier National Park. Lots of roads on the side of the cliff. I'm going to Google that silent later and save some screenshots, because one thing I like to do when designing levels with this, I've found, is to look at real maps, like real photos, for inspiration. It can really help give some ideas for how to make the maps, because it's really difficult going in blind and having a blank screen and thinking, how am I going to do this? It can be overwhelming. So just looking at real life reference pictures really helps a bunch. Yay, thank you for the hype, guys. Hey, Careless Rex, I love the new image. So yeah, that honestly so good. I think you picked a really good artist to do those, Rex. I don't go in people's streams much. I'm very antisocial, but when I do, I'll be using those a lot. Be using those emotes like crazy. Are they all standard assets for RPG Maker MV? Those trees look beautiful. These trees aren't actually the default. They are made by an artist called, I think they're called Maru. I might be mistaken. I know it begins with an M. I believe it's Maru. But I've credited the asset person somewhere. But yeah, so those are who the trees are made by. And I want to try and keep the assets consistent if I can. So when we have other trees in the games, I will probably use these but change the colour of them and stuff so it fits the area that they're used in. For consistency, because it's very important to me that the areas do look consistent, because that's quite hard to do with RPG Maker when you're using lots of different styled assets. You could find that over time the game doesn't look like it belongs in the same game as some of the previous dungeons because of different artists and that. What's happened here? What have I done? Why isn't this there? There's a little graphical error there, but I'll have to sort that out. It's with the Parallax map, a bit of a graphical area, but I've got the PSD saved in Photoshop, so I can easily edit them, no worries. Sometimes that happens. You did a map weeks ago, and then you're like, hang on, what's that? It happens. Very, very common. It's like the standard assets, but altered a bit. I've had this name since Justin TV. Oh, that's awesome. Honestly, people would be very jealous of you for having that name, because Lalafell is, for those that don't know, it's a race in Final Fantasy 14, a very popular race. So yeah, you've done well getting that name. Yeah, standard assets but altered a bit. Yeah, the community with RPG Maker are very good. There's a lot of artists out there that make tile sets and things. So there's a big selection of choice for me. which is great, but at the same time I definitely want to keep the consistency if possible. And I don't want the next dungeon of the game we have to end up having like really cartoon style assets or something. I want it to be consistent for sure. You make me want to open up RPG Maker again. Oh, I'm glad. Hi Kung, how are you doing? So good to see you. I missed you there hiding. But yeah, you should play RPG Maker again. I'm not making you, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun. I really hope that I inspire people to do this sort of thing, because it's really easy, guys. It's not easy. It's time consuming and there's a lot of work to do if you want to make an epic adventure. But it's so much easier than if you make a game on Unity or something. You know what I mean? It's easier than that. Any username that doesn't have numbers in it is amazing. Never again will I let my childhood self pick a name like Erica. Yeah, I know. I'm the exact same. I think it's so cool when I see someone's name and it's just like one word, like Lalafell, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so cool. You make me, yeah, which was my very first online username ever that I used for RuneScape. Really, that's hilarious. You guys don't want to know what usernames I used. So like girly and ridiculous. Quick, Rose, now's your chance to say something really inspiring. Oh no, did I miss my chance, Silent? I'm behind on chat, so I'll probably miss my chance. I've been offered $900 for my name, have you? And you didn't take it, you were like, sod off, were you? I think I would have probably took it, you know, but I admire you if you didn't and you stuck to your guns to fill the hearts of the community with the drive to create. I know, I really hope so. I mean, I will probably need to create more of this before I start inspiring people. By the time episode 1's out and the trailer's made, people will be like, oh, this is cool. I want to make one too, and I want to be, you know what I mean? It'll probably be at that point when people actually start wanting to do it as well, because at this point we're still very early days. We're still making the first dungeon and still a long way to go. I mean, we've hardly done any dialogue and stuff yet, but I love that there's so much potential, and I imagine where it could go, and it's really fun because this is basically my Twitch career now, should I say. This is what I do on Twitch now. I don't play video games on stream anymore. I had like a weird something weird happened to me one day where I was like, I actually enjoy gaming off stream more. I was experiencing a lot of backseating and it was stressing me out and making me not happy with stream, and I just didn't have the desire to game anymore on stream, and I wanted to create. I wanted to do something like this, and I've found that it fits me more and I enjoy it more anyway. Dang, really, it really is. I've read things about people being offered, like, I'm not even kidding, like 5 or 6 figures for their names. I think there was an article of somebody on Twitter having @D or @X or something. It was like literally just one letter, and that person got offered like $1 million or something for that name. I know what username it was. Whenever my buddies used to play a brand new MMO, we would try and take the cool names. He had a warrior name tonight. Really? Oh, that's so good. Like, that's the problem with being last on a platform. You're not going to get the good names. It's like Twitter. All the good names are used now. So if you want to create an awesome brand or something, or, you know, you're not going to get it. I've had that problem because I was saying last week, I am doing something else, another project alongside this project, and this is another reason why I've reduced my streaming days, so I can focus on this other project. And I'm at the point of creating all my social media accounts for it now. I've not told anyone about it, by the way. It's still a top secret what I'm actually doing. When the time's right, I'll let you guys know what it is. But I'm in the middle of doing the social medias for it. And the name I wanted to use was taken. And I was like, damn it. And it was available on every single social media website except for Twitter. I was like, what the hell? So I actually emailed the person and was like, can I have your name? I was like, can I have it please? And they didn't reply. So, and it's been a couple of weeks now. So I ended up having to think of another name, unfortunately. But I think the one I've got is fine. I might actually prefer it to the other one now. But you didn't know what my username was, Rex. You'd be shocked if you knew. I wish there was more people brave enough to make things on Twitch. Yeah, Silent, like, honestly, it's daunting. I'm not going to lie. It's daunting to broadcast yourself making something because, well, people can judge you more. They can judge your work. They can, yeah, I've had that feeling, but it's not going to stop me because the good sides of it overcome the daunting sides of it, if that makes sense. So I was named Warrior on Maple Story. Awesome. Hi Whitlock, how are you doing? I hope you're on a good day. It is. You guys are so good at getting good names. I sold it for 220 when you quit. Oh my god, guys, this is something we could make a livelihood from. Having good names on games and social media. By the way, this map looks great. Thank you, Whitlock. I'm really happy with it. The first two screens are basically done and dusted now. There's a few little, I mean, 95% there maybe, because I do want to add a few little decorations to the cliffs, like vines and like, you know, cliff decoration, just to make it look a little bit more lived in and old, like the forest stood there for some time. So I still have to do that, and there's still 4 more screens to do. I have a paint, well, this is my paint file of all of the forest. I've put all the screens together. Obviously these two look they're still in the early stages. But when they're all done, I like matching them up to make sure they all fit, you know. I want it to look like one big epic forest when it's done. And where's my other one? Yeah, this is just my plan. So it's helped doing that, just to know what the hell it is I've got to do. Got to do your rough sketches. I do know. What is it then, Rex? If you think you know. I wish I could. I live on the road with my wife. I use my phone for internet and my upload really isn't good enough. Oh no. How long are you going to be in that situation for, Lalafell? Maybe one day you'll be able to. Anyone want to buy my username? I'm selling it for the low price of 500. Yeah, like the person I wanted to buy the username from, I was very tempted to offer them money. But apparently it's illegal. It's in Twitter's terms and conditions to not do that. So I would have got banned. And you guys would have never been able to talk to me again. I'm naughty, doing illegal things. So I didn't do it, but I wouldn't have offered money anyway. Like, no way would I have offered like 100 quid. I would have said, you can have 10 quid. I'd be like, I'll offer you 10 quid for that name. Because it wasn't like, it's not like it's like a full-on special name or anything. To be honest, I was really shocked it was taken. Sugar Monster, was I right, or was there a different one? Sugar Monster was my name before Rose Rainblood, and it's not as embarrassing as some of them, believe me. Sugar Monster's quite cute. I did outgrow it. It felt a bit like childlike over time, but but there was definitely names that were far more shocking than that, like embarrassing, that I'll never admit in a million years. My company name was taken on Twitch too, not even being used. It sucks, doesn't it, Whitlock, when that happens? Because, like I was saying, yeah, I'm doing a side project at the moment and making the social media accounts, and it's when it's available on every social media site except for Twitter, it's frustrating. You're like, damn it. Jamie Lover 47. Oh my goodness, spell his name right at least, Rex. Hi Rod, how are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. How's it going? Hope you're had a fabulous week. For those that don't know, I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 at the moment. That's been my off-stream game, and I recently finished the Shadowbringers expansion, and it was frigging incredible. So any MMO fans, that's the game to play. How have you been? I've been good, Rod. I've been good. I hope you've been good too. Maybe if you trademark, you can take it. Yeah, it's very expensive to do that, isn't it? I think I'd only trademark my stuff if, like, say, what I was doing brought in a sort of decent income, then it would be worth doing it if it became like a proper business. But, you know, when you're first coming up with an idea, you don't know if it's gonna potentially get to that level. So, but yeah, I've heard that if you do trademark it though, Twitter will let you have the name. If it's an inactive account, they will let you have it and deactivate the other account. I'm in a similar situation with, like, the no underscore version of my name is an inactive account. It's very frustrating, I know, Rex. Is there any way Twitch will change it for you, or do they just not? Are they just that hopeless? Sorry, Twitch. But yeah, it's just, you know. I met my wife in Final Fantasy 14. Did you? That's so sweet. I know a lot of people that have met people through, like, MMOs and things. So yeah, it's a good place to meet people. I've got no friends on there though. I'm very, like, weird. I play my MMO single player. I used to be in an FC, but I think bad experiences made me wary of being in FCs again. Because the people that were in there, not all of them, but there was a few, like, you know, the sort of people that would, like, moan if you made a mistake in a dungeon or something, and I don't know, it made me a bit. But there's not everybody's like that in Final Fantasy 14. It's actually a very good community. You only get the odd people like that from what I've seen. Maybe I'll trademark the name. I don't know if Twitch would do it, Rex. Twitter do. Like, I looked under the rules or terms and conditions or whatever, and it actually said for Twitter, but for Twitch I'm not sure. I've heard that Twitch will do that, but rarely, and only when it's with partners. Yeah, it's a shame it's only partners. I mean, why? Oh, they should listen to everyone, in my opinion, but I would say that, wouldn't I? I got my girlfriend addicted to Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 14 is very easy to get addicted to, I have to say. It's a brilliantly done MMO, and the story happens to be absolutely terrific. It's my favourite story in a Final Fantasy game since Final Fantasy X by a long way. So it's pretty good. Whoever writes that is really good and talented, and there is a lot of filler. I'm not gonna lie, you do get your, like, fetch quests that can be a bit of a drag, but when you actually get into the main stuff, it's really gripping and awesome, and yeah, the music's incredible as well. Final Fantasy 14 was my favourite MMO. I want to play it again, especially with the new expansion. You would play the new expansion, Max? You actually would go through... Because I knew you were going to play 14 again as part of your Final Fantasy journey that you're doing. But I thought you was going to just do a round Reborn. But A Realm Reborn is the worst part, funnily enough. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, A Realm Reborn is still fantastic. But compared to the 3 expansions that come after it, it's not on the same level of quality. The quality comes with the expansions. I always play MMO single player too, but I don't play single RPGs. Yay for us single player MMO people. I guess it's very... the appeal of MMOs is really good because it's an ongoing thing, and there's always a way to make your character stronger with every new patch, and it's just, there's something very addictive about that. Partner, just a way to filter the important people. Yeah, but there's amazing affiliates too, you know, and I think they deserve to be listened to as well. I guess I just enjoy grinding. Yeah, grinding's fun. I enjoy grinding as well in games. I'm weird like that. I always thought that's the bit people hate, so it's nice to know that you like it as well, Silent. Path of Exile, the Grind Machine. Yeah, Path of Exile was pretty fun, you know. I did play it for a bit, but then I stopped because I think it got a bit too challenging for me. But I did like it when it was easy, and the whole game mechanics of that reminded me of the sphere grid in Final Fantasy X, so that was pretty cool. Well, Partners put in a lot of work, so they deserve it. Yeah, well, they do. They of course deserve to be listened to, but I want my Rexy to be listened to too. He should have the underscore removed if he wishes. Okay, so right, what we'll be doing. Okay, I do want to have a cave kind of tile set parts, and I don't think we've got one here. I just really want a cave in this section. It feels like the appropriate place to put a cave. Just for an extra part, you know, for a potential side quest. There's a few parts I need to make tidier, but I'll leave that to last. I just want to get the shape down first. And oops, I'm very sorry guys, I had paint up still and I was rambling on and you didn't even see what I was talking about. But Rex is a partner. I'm fine. I'm sure in time I'll be able to take it in the reality that I'm from. Yeah, and that's what I mean. There's brilliant people that aren't partners, like Rex being one of them. But, you know, it eventually will happen, quite obviously, because anybody that works hard gets what they deserve in the end. Okay, so I'm going to have a quick browse on the Google to see if there's a good cave tile set or something. Also, guys, remember we got a poll, so if you come to the streams often and you enjoy getting involved in the game and making it with us, this is the perfect poll for you, and it's good feedback for me as well to see what people enjoy doing the most or enjoy watching the most. So most of the streams will have a bit of all of them, but it's still nice to know. Okay, so one sec. I'm going to go on a hunt for some assets. Okay, so we have something like this. We've got a cave here, and I don't think that something like that is in the current as that thing. But this is a different cliff style to the one we use. Nice if we could get one without a background. There's some, but they're very tiny. Like that's one, but it's only one tile set and it's small. I think I'd like it more if it was larger than that, because let's face it, it's gonna look not very big at all on that map. Hey, that's good. That's what I mean. Something something bigger like that, but something that doesn't have a background. So, but I'm not sure if this is for MV. It might be for XP or VX. Yeah, that looks nice. We'll make it fit, even if it's not for MV. We can still make it work. We just edit it until it does work. I can't find it now. Oh, here it is. So I'm just going to copy it or save it. Oh no, copying and saving, no difference, right? So let's get Photoshop up. And we'll open the tile set that we use. Oh my goodness, it's been so long I forgot where where the tile sets are. Okay, I've found them. Okay. Okay, I did think there was a cave then, but it's a different one. One sec, guys. I think we might already have a cave. We might not need that one after all. Let's get Photoshop up so you guys can see it. Where are you, Photoshop? Here we go. Okay, so this one, I think that top one there is the same cliff we're using. I just hope it is, you know, because the pattern might not go. But if it doesn't, we'll just delete that bit and make it not have a background. Just no problem. But because I don't, that one is definitely. Let's get our tile sets up. So this is the section where we decide the tile sets for each map. So Lakefall outside is the one that we've got here. I think we make use out of all of them now, unfortunately, so it might not be a good idea to get rid of one of them. Which means we might have to do what we did before and copy and paste from that tile set and copy and paste it onto, say, this one of these. So, Enchanted Forest BE. That's the one. Let's open that one. yeah, so we've got room here. We can put it there, I guess. Hopefully it'll work out. I'm going to move it like this though. Hang on. I'll do it so I'll grab the square so we can get it in the right place. I don't know if that was in the right place, but I think that is. Are you using any plugins for Envy? I've got quite a few actually, Lalafell. I'll give you a little glance at those. So that this is the plugins section, isn't it? Yeah, these are all the ones I've got. I really need to organise them now. I need to like split them up into sections and keep them organised because I am getting quite a few now. But I'm using a lot of the Yanfly ones. As you can see, the ones that start in Yep are the Yanfly plugins. They're like the best plugins in my opinion. Some random dude ones. The VE. Forgot whose that was now. Let's have a look. Victor, that's it. And Heim, I'm using one of Heim. So really, yeah, I've got quite a few plugins, but I do need to organise them. Mog ones. Oh yeah, Mog. The Mog Battle Hood. Because the battle system, I'm not using the default. I've kind of changed the UI a bit to my liking. So the Mog one was really good for that. It was a bit, because it's not in English, it was a bit confusing at first, but I got the hang of it in the end after a bit of messing around. Anyway, wanted to stop in and see how you was. Hope you have a good evening, rest and week ahead. Thank you, Rod. Thank you very much. It's always lovely to see you stop by. Hope you have a good week too. Tetsu Roses, number 3. Congrats. Tasty Graph, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. I'm having to wear my fringe like this at the moment. Well, my bangs fringe, whatever you want to call it. Because it's getting long. And it's very warm today as well. Like literally there's a heat wave in the UK for those of you that don't know. So I'm not wearing makeup and I'm sweaty. Does Mog still make the menu editors? I can't remember, you know, because I haven't actually looked into the menu UI yet. I'm not at the stage of the game where where I'm messing about with that, but at some point I will be, so I'll probably be looking more into it then. I do know of people that have edited the menus, so there's definitely a way. I'm sure that it's Mog whose plugins do that. Okay, so well, what was I doing? Okay, Photoshop. So this cave looks ideal, so there's one to put there. I just hope it looks good. So what we're going to do is I'll put it there, I think. We'll save it, we'll see how it looks, and if it doesn't go, if the pattern's different, then I'll just delete the pattern in the background. That's all, simple as that. So it should be under the cannons, so it'll appear here, a blank bit, but it takes a while. Can't remember how to refresh it now. Either we go in the database and redo the tile set, or we close the game and close the engine and open it up again. Okay, it's here. It's here now. Yeah, all we had to do was that. Whoa, it looks to be honest, it's about the right size. To be honest, I'm fine with that, but we need to just make it look more pretty around it and give more. Put more decorations around it. This is a frigging huge cliff, you know. This cave is bloody, could potentially be massive. But at least it works. That fits fine. So, that's centered, right? Yeah, that's centered perfectly. So I'm gonna have a... Oh, I'm so sorry guys, I've still got Photoshop up. This is a big problem I'm facing. I'm opening pieces of software, leaving them open, and you guys aren't seeing what I'm doing, because I use window capture, not display capture, and the reasons for that are just for privacy reasons, really, so you guys don't see stuff you shouldn't. But hopefully there is a easier way to do it, but if there is, I haven't found it yet. Okay, so next step. I could make this go even further back, you know, and some trees could go there, or, you know, it could be... Even this whole big section here doesn't have to be one big block. And it's sometimes cool, I've found, to make things different sizes. Like have some thick blocks but some narrow blocks too. I like to glance at the other maps just to see how I did it, how I did some sections and patterns. Yeah, I think that one works, having it more behind. But if that's the case, I feel like we need to change where that's positioned. I still want it to be centered. And something else that could really help. Oh, thank you for the follow, Venold. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream, new peoples. If you're lurking and are intrigued by what I'm up to, this is the command !! project, and that'll lead you to our Twitter. And if you want to have a peek, Twitter's basically where I'll post any updates, and all the juicy stuff will go on there for new news and updates. Yeah, as I was saying, one thing we can do to make this map more exciting is put things, because it's very long, like we've broken things down in terms of that way horizontally, but it's very long vertically, and we might want to break that up a bit. So something we could do to do that is we could, oh hang on, did we do this on other maps? Yeah, we did it on this map. We put another ledge, a grass area, to break it up so it wasn't too long, the cliff area. And this ledge area works really well because this is where the shortcut's going to be. This map here is going to link to that map. So this section here, where I'm highlighting here, is going to lead back to the very first map here, and the player can then somehow gain access to a ladder and then go back down, and then they can walk back across the bridge to Lakefall. So it's going to be the shortcut, and then they can when they go get some side quests or have to come back in the forest for whatever reason, they can easily get back to that last screen again. And there'll be, what I'll probably do is I'll create another grass area here. So would it work if yeah, something like that. You just have to break long cliffs up by doing a grassy section. but probably make it look a bit different so it doesn't look the same as the one above it. But we'll do that after. Yeah, that's a graphical. How did we solve that problem now? I'll mess with that later. Sometimes you can't avoid the graphical glitches in tile sets. Oopsie, there's gone white there. Yeah, sometimes there's nothing you can do about them, no matter what tile set you look for. So that's another reason why parallax mapping is pretty useful, because it lets you just use Photoshop to edit it. So yeah, a ladder can go there or something, or steps. But this area here, it's very much not done. We've got to make the cliffs a bit better at this block here. We're going to put some trees here to give the impression that this ledge is higher up. Like, kind of like we did on the east map here. You've got the smaller trees down here and you've got some cliffs, and it gives the impression of height that that section's lower. So I kind of want to do the same for this map here, and like put some smaller trees there and bigger trees up here, and some cliffs as well on the sides, just to give the impression that it's higher up. And this will be the area where the boss of the dungeon is going to be. So there probably could be a boss in the cave as well here, but that will probably be a side quest, an optional quest, that people that don't want to do too much could miss if they wanted to. Because we haven't really filled in the plot details yet. But there will be a story behind whatever boss is here. Sure. Because we'll write that together. And whatever wins the most on the portal will be where the story goes. Which, by the way, got a command for that. You can read the main story so far on Instagram. That'll be where I posting little visual squares on Instagram of the story. That'll be a good way to keep track of it. So we'll finish this screen off after. I want to kind of get this looking more pretty, and we have to, let's just copy and paste, because we're missing screen 5. And screen 5, the one that will come after this cave and before this one, will be where the exit is out of the Everbloom Forest. So we need an exit, obviously, otherwise we'll be trapped here forever. Okay, so we'll have to rename this one as, so we've got east, southeast, south. What is it? Hang on, let's look at our map. So north, east, southeast, south, southwest. Duh. Southwest. What I want to do though, because it's pretty boring having them be called east, southeast, southwest. It's very confusing as well. And I want to make them more memorable. I want to actually give these screens names, like, you know, that fit the environment they're in. Like this, for example, could be called Winding Path or something like that. Or that's just an example. That's the most basic level. That could be Mountain Pass. Well, I don't know if it is a mountain, but you know what I mean. That's just an idea. And giving them actual descriptive like names will make it so much easier with questing as well, because then an NPC could be like, go to the winding path and find this item for me, and it's so much easier than saying go southeast and get this item for me. It's just more memorable. And because we have a mini map, that like sits in the top corner here when we're in game. It shows everything. It shows any monsters or where you are, just like in an MMO or a single player RPG has a map. And we could have like the name of the descriptive name of the section of the map underneath. It's just a way of just making it more memorable and more interesting than just calling them south and southeast and stuff. Are you going to be using MP and TP? At the moment, yes. I have done that in the UI, so that exists. We've only like really touched on the basics of skills so far. I think we spent one stream looking at enemy skills and player skills, and we were talking about ideas for that. So we haven't really spent much time on that side of things yet, but at the moment, yeah. So unless things change with the mechanics, then yeah, we'll take them out if necessary, but at the moment they're there. So at the moment we're kind of focusing on the mapping. We've done enemy work visually. We had like a poll where we decided what enemies we were going to have and everything, and that was a lot of fun. Everyone had a vote on what sort of enemies they wanted in the dungeon, and as you can see, if I get it up, I've put them in the corner. So we've got like a toxic plant and a mushroom. They're very pixelated here though, because I'm zoomed in. A flower and a bee, a deer and a little tree stump, and a big tree. And we haven't decided the big boss though yet. But it'll be fun when we do, and we'll probably have a vote for that as well. But the assets, the battle assets, are all designed by the same artist. They actually have a Patreon. And they consistently have more assets very often. They update, so there's a lot of choice there. They've got a ton of different enemies, and I'm going to be sticking with that artist for the enemy design, because they're pretty cool, and it'll be cool to keep the look consistent. So we'll be focusing more on the enemies and the skills and the combat system and that once we've got the mapping out of the way. So these are the 6 maps once they're all done, we can start focusing on other things, and that'll be really fun as well. But we do, like I say, we've got a cave here, so at some point when we do the side quest for it, I will be designing the cave level design as well, and that will be fun, doing a cave. Okay, so where were we? Okay, so this is at the southwest. So what we're going to do is, yeah, that's the same. So at the moment, that's what the map before ends like. So they'll end the same, but we might have to edit it a bit because we might change how the positioning of that cliff and everything and the path, so we might have to alter it. But basically this map is going to be like a fork. There'll be like 2 paths, one going up and one going left, and the one going up will lead to this. I'll probably have to edit this a bit though, so it fits with it when we do it. And the one going left will be the way out of the forest, which you're not allowed to do yet. You're not allowed to leave. So we'll think of a way to block that section off. So I only just thought today, I was like, oh yeah, we need an exit for the forest. I was like, I can't believe I forgot about something as important as that. Are we getting lag? Oh no. Apparently the lag was a while ago, so we're fine. We get a tiny bit of lag sometimes because we have a lot of things open, like Photoshop and a lot of different programs open, and we're using OBS as well. But at least it doesn't happen too often. Oh my goodness. Do you ever talk so much that your mouth starts aching? Because that's what my mouth is like now. Well, my jaw. Anyway, I've got jaw ache. It's because I don't talk very often. I only stream once a week now. And I'm a hermit, so I don't ever get to talk to people. So when I finally do go on stream and talk, I get massive jaw ache. Do you guys like my water bottle? It's got donuts on it. It's very important in a heat wave. I've got my fan on and it's great. Okay, so what else can we do? Oh yeah, as we were saying, one good thing we can do is add sections to the top, like ledges, just to make it. I'm just going to copy and paste this one again, it's easier. Just doing things like that makes a difference, and it stops it being too much of a repetitive pattern and too much long cliff. And even if the player doesn't need to walk on there, even if it's not walkable, it's still nice to put it there just so it looks prettier, really, in my opinion. I mean, it's subjective, isn't it? Like what looks good and what doesn't. So I've got the corners somewhere. Here they are. I have to zoom in a bit because I can't see a bloody thing. It's so easy to forget little bits, you know, like corners, and then weeks later you look and you think, oh crap, I forgot that corner. But it's fine, like it's probably better to just discover that yourself when you realise the mistake. You can easily get obsessed and be constantly looking for mistakes, and sometimes it's better not to, in my opinion. It can be too stressful. Because we'll have a testing stage of the game. When episode 1 is close to coming out, I will probably have a time period just before that where we test. I will be a tester myself, and I will ask if anybody wants to help. Like the testers will get the pleasure of being the first ones to play the game, so that's the good thing about being a tester. And you'll get credited as well in the credits. I'll put your name in the credits for being a tester, and that'll just ensure that there's no little glitches and bugs and that for episode 1's release. So we can make this a little bit bigger. I'm not going to bother doing the corners yet, you know, guys, actually, and making it all perfect. Well, I'll do that once I know that the shape's right. But just like, for example, you can see that what I'm trying to do, can't you? I'm just like trying to break up the long cliffs with ledges, even though it doesn't look perfect yet. And even this straight path here needs changing because it's too perfect. You need to, as you can see, the paths, I've tried to make them look a bit messy and stuff, not too straight. I want to get that effect. Ooh, nearly in the top 60, Silent. I had a little peek at your character sheet, by the way, Silent. It looks very interesting, I have to say. And I'll be looking forward to making the character sheet once you get those raindrops. Yay. Oh my goodness, Kung. Look at that number. That's hilarious. Everybody who's at position seems to love it. Okay, what I sometimes like to do is work on, I don't like to work on one map too much at once. I get bored and I'm like, okay, I want to do this map now. And sometimes it's good to go to look at the maps with fresh eyes as well, because sometimes you can work on a map and think, yeah, I'm happy with that. And then when you look at it about an hour later with fresh eyes, you're like, nah. So sometimes switching between maps and working on different ones can help for that. The grass somehow doesn't look right. But we will add trees. What's missing at the moment is trees. As well. We got to finish the cliff. So I don't know if I want to put a path for every single one. I might, but I might not. But it definitely has helped break it up on this left side, even though it looks ugly at the moment. Let's make it prettier. I know I said I wouldn't that I wouldn't bother doing all that yet, but I want to. Thanks for letting me fill it out, Ellie. Yeah, that's totally fine. Like, if you guys are inspired and you're like, oh, I've got this character and I really want to do it, and I'm not going to get the raindrops for another few weeks or few months, and you can fill it in if you're inspired and want to get your idea down, because you never know when inspiration hits you, right? Looking good, so fat. LOL Rex. Typo. Is that to lurk a lot the last few weeks? No worries. Honestly, guys, even if you lurk and you're not like active in chat, that means the world to me. That's like really generous that you'd even bother to lurk. You know, I mean, it's a lot of effort to be a lurker because you have to still come in the stream and stuff. So I see that as massive support. How did I do these sections again? Let's have a quick peek. Yeah, these actually can't see how I made those land on the ground because there's a cliff in the way. I think it's possible. I don't think there's a tile set for it. There's always a solution for things like that when you're like, oh, that looks weird and there's no way of doing it. You either just change it in Photoshop so it looks okay, or you just stick a tree in front of it. that's sometimes a good solution. Just stick a tree in front of it and nobody will ever know. Like, you know, nobody would ever know it looked ugly. But I always get a bit bothered by that because I know it looks bad behind it. Do you know what I mean? And I don't like how it looks back, like it actually does. If the tree got moved, I don't know. I'm just weird like that. Lurking is so wonderful. It's nothing you need to apologise for. I know, and we had a lovely message from the Swedish Beard in my Discord this morning. If anyone's curious, it's in general chat. Swedish Beard is a mod in the channel. He used to be very active, but he hasn't been in recent months because he got a job and he's like been getting on with life and stuff. And it was really nice to hear from him, and he sent us all a message to update us all on stuff and when he's going to be back, and just reminded me when you talked about lurking and like even people that haven't been active in the community for like a year plus, like it's always like amazing to like catch up with you after so long. Oh my god, you've realised you did the time bomb. We found it funny. It's fine. How dare you? I thought you were kind-hearted. It's an unfortunate typo, and if I was new to the stream, that might be a ban. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like funny how much you can get away with when you're a regular. So, but I probably would have known it was a typo from anyone. It's very easy to do that because R and T are like together on the keyboard, aren't they? Yeah, Silent just said what I said. We love the Swedish Beard, we do. He's awesome, and he's a character in the game as well. He's the sorcerer in the game. I'm peckish. Why do I get hungry so quickly, you know? Weird, I'm weird. I've got a small belly, that's why. Okay, now we've made this bit longer, we don't need this section, so... Mapping is a very time-consuming thing, you know. You can just spend ages fussing about these things. Even when you're not the one that's done the graphics, it's like... Just the whole level design itself is a skill, if you know what I mean. Like, making sure it looks good. Even with excellent graphics, you could make something look crap if you don't have the right approach. Well said. Tetsu's good at the puns. This isn't working. It looks weird, you know. I'm gonna make it a little bit thicker. I mean, I could just put a tree in front, but I don't want to. Okay, so something like that works. That's tidy now. I mean, we can always make that a bit less straight, I suppose. I'm very anti having straight lines. Don't have straight lines in forests. Some things it could work, like if say you're in a building or whatever. Straight lines are great, but not in forests. You gotta have a bit of messiness and Have you played Solve though? I've never heard of that game then. Is it an RPG game like this? Because if so, I'd like to. I'm always looking for inspiration. I've got an Instagram account for this game now, and I'm following others on Instagram that are doing RPG games too. Yeah, I think we need to add something like this on this side as well. Something looks not quite right for sure, and I think it's because what is it? Maybe it's the lack of trees. What do you guys? I always like to hear feedback from chat as well. We definitely need something above here and some here as well. Maybe it's the straightness here as well. It is an RPG, but not like this, and it is old. Oh, I will definitely have a little look into that, because I like looking at any RPG. It doesn't have to be made on RPG Maker, because RPGs are my favourite genre of games. Oh, okay, I know what I've done wrong. One thing you have to do is make sure that it matches, like whatever bit's jutting out, if it's like that's jutting out by 2 tile sets, so you have to make it 2 tile sets at the bottom bit too, and this one is jutting out by 1, so it actually has to be lower, otherwise it's not going to look right. I've just realised. And that is by 2. Yep, that one's right. Yeah, I think what we need to do, get some ledges on these bits as well, put some trees around and add the flowers, and that'll make a big difference, I'd say, to this map. But we could still definitely do a few more wonky cliffs. Hi Amir, how you doing? Clouds. Clouds indeed, and we don't have any, do we? You can't see the clouds because the cliffs go up so high. I do know that some people do add backgrounds to their games, and it can actually look quite pretty. But you have to have the right map for that. Nice emote, by the way. I like the doggo, Venold. I was tempted to do some parallax mapping here today and add the flowers to the forest, but I'm delaying it just because it's such a time-consuming thing. But it's a very chill thing to do. I kind of want it to be a chill stream because it's so hot today. Oh, we could also let's do a bit of this. Let's make this actually have some look a bit better now. So how did we do it with this map? So yeah, even just something like that, I might want to make it a little bit thicker. Can give the impression, I guess, that it's a cliff and not just a piece of grass sticking out. It gives it a bit more height, so we can do that in back. I kind of got that effect with this map here. It was really important to capture that height with this path, so I want to try and do the same thing with this one, and then put the trees down there as well to make the height look even more believable. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Amia. For you guys who are new to the stream or intrigued about the project, we got a lot of commands that the bot comes up with now and again. You can find out more about the project from those. And we have it in the panels as well. We have a link to all the useful stuff in the panels. Yeah, I haven't done the corners yet, but I'll save them till last. Hey JavaScript, how are you doing? JavaScript Gold, that's a good name. Hope you're having a good Monday. Welcome to the stream. So let's get rid of these silly straight paths. Let's make it look a bit more natural again. But this is where our first boss is going to be. So this is a very scary place. But first bosses aren't scary, are they? I have to hold down shift while putting this grass down because it has like a weird white outline for some reason. Been busting your ass off trying to get GitHub to work. Well, good luck. I hope you get it working. I hope that your Monday goes smoothly. The vertically the cliffs, have you played around with making the lines not straight? For example, more of a pyramid-like structure. Let's have a little peek. Do you mean on this screen or on this screen? A pyramid structure. Have you got a reference picture of me? Sometimes it does really help me a bunch to have a reference picture to look at, whether it's another game that does something similar or a real life picture or even a sketch. Because sometimes I struggle getting the image in mind. And hi Snowman, how are you doing today? It's awesome to see you. Hope you're having a good day. But yeah, I'm really trying to create that effect of a natural cliff top here. I don't want it to look too straight and too perfect, so I'm going to make it look a bit more bumpy. And it's not going to be perfect today. I mean, today we've literally just started these maps, and just getting the shape is good enough for now. And when we add all the paths and the trees and the flowers, it'll really bring it to life. But I definitely like to get the shape in first. Is it okay if I post a link? Yeah, sure. The previous screen you were working on? Yeah. I thought you meant that one, the cliff one here. But yeah, I will totally be willing to look at some reference pictures that'll help me. Because you do need it. Everybody needs it. Everybody needs references. I hear a British accent. Yeah, you are right. I'm from the land of England. Where are you from, Java? I've got a very strong British accent. Good, you. I'm doing good, Snowman. I'm very hungry though, guys. I might have some of my melted chocolate. I put it in front of the fan, so... Oh, wow. It's very melted. I'm eating these. Have you guys ever had these before? Do they have those in the USA? I don't even know. The grand old USA. Awesome. We have a few USA peeps in this stream. I was in the USA last month. Yeah, excuse me guys from eating. I'm a very hungry one. Oh my goodness. Just as I'm stuffing my face with chocolate, we get a host from Willow Scale. Charlie, how are you doing? This is your new Twitch name, I believe. I've been lurking in your stream, so I knew you changed your name. I really like it. It's really pretty and it's very fantasy themed. It's really, really nice. How are you guys doing? Let's give a shout out to my lovely friend Charlie. You should give her a follow. She's been playing Overwatch, I see, but she's very much an RPG person like myself. She plays a lot of RPG stuff like Elder Scrolls Online. And she's a lovely person, and she's also British, so those are the reasons to follow her. How are you doing? I keep forgetting my name change every time someone says Willow. No, me. That's funny. Yeah, it would probably take a while of getting used to, I can imagine. But I'm doing good. We're doing some mapping and level design today for our forest. It's looking a bit crappy at the moment, but we're going to get it looking good over time. We've just started these ones, so eventually I want them to look more like these ones, because these are our finished ones, and then eventually they'll look like them and we'll have the forest all done, and then we can focus on all the other things like adding all the enemies and stuff. So I'm making an RPG game in RPG Maker, which is on Steam. For those of you that don't know, it's pretty expensive. I got it in the sale, and it's just a really awesome piece of software that you can easily make RPGs in. You don't really need to have much code knowledge, but you kind of need to know your way around it a bit if you want to add complex scripts and make things more original. But you can create something for sure. And thank you very much. How did your stream go, by the way, Charlie? I'll still call you Charlie. It feels strange calling you Willow all of a sudden, so I'll call you Charlie. Slanted verticals, points up. Thank you, Amir, for that. I'm gonna copy and paste that link. I'm not gonna click it and open it because it opens it up in another browser. It opens Internet Explorer up for some reason. So I'll copy and paste it. Slanted verticals. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that image, because I do have a folder where I keep all my reference images. And when I do, because I'll probably be doing a lot of it off stream as well this week and get it finished before next week's stream. I'll look at that for some inspiration, Amir. Thank you very much. But yeah, if anyone wants to send reference pictures of cliffy, foresty areas, then feel free to, because I need all the inspiration I can get. Knowing JavaScript will be a huge help. Yeah, it does help to know. I mean, I'm not a coder, and I only really know the web design coding languages mainly, and I just do it and put whatever in and hope it works most of the time. Charlie is good and it went well, thanks, but oh boy, I'm struggling with the heat today. Oh my goodness, yeah, I'm eating chocolate and it's all melted, and I've got my fan on. It's really hot, just so hot. I'm a fan of the medium weather. I was saying, I don't like it hot and I don't like it cold, just medium is great. Rose, you're going to put puzzles in your game? Perhaps. I mean, I'm not really a puzzle person, I'll admit. But because this is a community game, I mean, if in dungeons in the future someone's got a good idea for a puzzle, that'd be cool. and I will, if it's something that sounds good, then I will probably add it. But this first dungeon doesn't have any puzzles so far, probably because I want to make it a bit more simple because it's the first one. But you never know, we could have a few little ones. You're listening to a British girl who made a game on Steam. Oh, awesome. That's pretty cool. Sounds like a good afternoon to me, JavaScript. Although it's probably morning for you, right? Hey Rose, send me some white chocolate buttons and some magic stars. Yeah? Do you like those? You don't get those where you're from? It's 28 here in Texas today. Coolest it has been in a week. Oh my goodness, if 28 degrees is cool, I feel really bad for you. I would, oh my goodness, that is boiling. Hi sick boy, how you doing? It's good to see you. How have you been? I hope you're doing good. Oh my god, I'm in Texas. You know what? Everybody's from Texas, I've noticed. It just seems to be where everybody's from. Most people from the USA. And if they don't live there now, they've lived there at some point. It'll be 36 plus tonight. How do you guys live? How do you cope with that? How do you cope? Do you have like fans and air conditioning? It gets into the 50s in August. Oh my gosh. How are you? I've been obsessed with Bloodstain these days. Oh, I've heard good things about that game, sick boy. Is it a bit like a Castlevania sort of game? Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I've heard. I think if I'm thinking of the right game, it's like that. We don't go outside ever, yeah. Stay indoors forever and just have air conditioning on. That's what I do too. Every online community always has someone from Texas. It's a big country though, isn't it? A big state, should I say. It's a big state. Is it the biggest one? It's the biggest one in America, right? I've always wanted to visit Texas. What's it like? Oh my goodness. Rex is a Texas boy, born and bred. Bet you guys didn't know that. Hello. Yeah, all the awesome people have been here, Rex, while you've been gone. And I learned that Texas is actually one of the most populated states. If I ever went to Texas, I'd probably melt. I'm a snowman. Oh my god, this chocolate. I have to eat the chocolate because I'm so hungry. I was born in Manchester. Oh, you're from England? From England, Lalafell. I can believe that. I heard all my exes live there. Yeah, that's funny. I'm from Texas, guys. No, you never believe me. I'm not tanned enough to be from Texas. Well, if you guys don't even go outside, I suppose you're not tanned either, right? I drove for 14 hours and was still in Texas. My goodness. Do you not have public transport in Texas? Right, food time, be back later. Enjoy your food, Lalafell. What are you having? I want to know what noms you're having. New name. Yeah, new name. I knew who Charlie was. As soon as she hosted me, I was like, yeah, I wasn't like, who are you? Imagine if I was. Imagine if I don't know this streamer. This is a new face. But I know. I'm very observant. I notice things. Everything is too far away, unfortunately, so it doesn't make public transport viable. That sucks. I have to say, UK is very good with public transport. It's very bloody expensive, but around my area anyway, there's quite a lot of it. Just too expensive, that's the problem. Had a few awkward interactions like that. Yeah, nice to meet you. And you're like, oh, and you've like had to say who you are. Oh, by the way, Charlie, Rex has finished Game of Thrones now. Last night, he really liked it, which I'm happy about, because most people bloody hate it. Chub Cheeks came in earlier, and he was like, he said how much he hated it, and it's sad. I loved it. This chocolate's so squidgy. Yeehaw. Rex is a cowboy. $30 miles to work. My goodness. In one direction. You were in one direction. You know what? There's a person in One Direction who went to my school. So that's a fact. Which is quite interesting. And it's not the one who's called Harry Styles, by the way. Best ending for the show, hands down. Couldn't have ended anywhere. It's sacrificing the beginning of the show. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm glad that somebody enjoyed it. Okay, what were we doing? We was looking at. I'm gonna go back to that map later, just because I want a break from it for now. So we're working on this section. It just looks too straight and too square at the moment. So I just want to make it look a little bit more, what's the word? I can't think of the word I want to describe it as. But more like how it should look, basically. Everyone hates on the last season. I loved it too. Yeah, it comes down to me, people having expectations for the ending and being disappointed it didn't end the way they wanted it to, because their expectations were so like, I want this to happen. And I think we all know what those expectations were. Everybody wanted John and Danny on the throne. It wasn't ever going to happen, guys. And I knew that, and that's why I was happy with it. Because I knew that wouldn't happen. It's all the people that thought that would happen that were disappointed. Which show? Game of Thrones. Distance to work, it's all interstate highways. At one point, the high's literally 6 lanes on one side, 12-line highway in total. Oh my goodness. You have to like driving then. If you don't like driving, you're screwed. I can drive, but I haven't driven in like 12 years. Okay, I sound really old now. Hang on, is it 12 years? No. It's more like 10 years, I think, actually, since I last drove. Slight exaggeration. But I am old. Well, I'm not old, but... yeah, I'm older than I look. I have to keep holding shift down. I was a bit expecting Andrew to begin to what's the bastards anymore. You know, a lot of people had that theory, and it wasn't too weird, I have to say. It made sense. I always felt like there was a reason why he was Robert's bastard. I said I swear. Yeah, he was a good person. I think there was a few good candidates. You do, when designing like maps from scratch, because we've designed maps from scratch today, it's impossible to get it done in one sitting, because I always like have to have a look at it a few hours later to make sure it looks okay for fresh eyes and stuff. But I'm glad that we've kind of got an idea. But next week it's gonna look super pretty, guys, next week. I love Jon Snow. Yeah, it's not your favourite though, is he? Arya Stark was your favourite, if I'm correct. But I don't think anyone could dislike Jon. It wouldn't make sense to, because he is truly a good person. Bran could have walked into her and stopped the slaughter, but he sat on him emotionless. That's waiting to begin. You know what? Yeah, my dad was like saying the same thing. He was like, you know, he's totally like manipulated the whole king thing. He knew he was going to be king and made it happen. And he kind of made it seem that way. But I like to think that he's good. That the three-eyed raven is like good. We want a good king now. How does RPG Maker handle collision on maps? Is it automatic based on the tile set you put down? What do you mean by collision? I'm very sorry. I'm a noob with some terms. But to be honest, I've played around in a few RPG Maker softwares, not just MV, and others are better in my opinion. There's a lot of problems with different layers. I found there's a lot of messing around, but I manage. That's an interesting take. And there was that weird line he had when Tyrion asked him about being king. Yeah, it was a weird line. I love Jon too, so sweet, so pure, although a bit naive, bless him. Yeah, he's like a typical cinnamon roll. But I think it's really refreshing to see a male character like Jon Snow, and he was very loved. He was my mum's favourite. Like, he was truly honourable. He was most like Ned, I think, out of all the Stark people. When players move around, how does it know not to move the player off a cliff? Oh, okay. You mean like so the player doesn't like walk everywhere where they shouldn't? Well, there's a number of ways you can do that. I mean, let's have a look. Tile sets. You see how you've got there's these circles and crosses? That's the standard way of doing it. The circle means you can walk over it, and the cross means you can't. So you just have to do that. That's what most people do. But because I'm doing parallax mapping, which is parallax mapping is when you take the map as a screenshot into Photoshop and edit it, so you've got more flexibility with what you want to do. I did that because I've added flowers to this map, and I wanted the impression that they were scattered and not bunched. It's really hard to create that with tile sets, so I did need to add the flowers manually in Photoshop, which meant that it's all one image. This is basically a PNG file in Photoshop, I think. So yeah, how I do the collision then is I use this. I use the regions for it. There's a plugin, I think, called region something. Let's have a look. I've got so many plugins. Yeah, region restrictions. And when you download that plugin, it just allows the numbers, some to be passable and some to not be. So as you can see, 1 is what you can't walk over and 2 is what you can walk over. So yeah, you can either do it that way or the traditional standard way in the database. It's pretty straightforward, it's not too bad. The irony is that all of Ned's children, John is the most like him. I love Ned Stark with all my heart. Even though he hated Jamie, I still love him. I miss the banter between Ned and Robert. Yeah, I thought that was so good. Season 1 was really good, and it holds a very special place in my heart just because of Ned. And Robert was very funny, even though he was an ass. He was a complete asshole. He was very funny. Thank you for the explanation. You're right. Well, you're welcome. I do like to explain because I want everybody to make games in this software. So I like to show people stuff and make things clear. I want everybody to make a game. It's so fun, and I want to play everybody's games. He had good reason to hate him though. Well, maybe not actually. The only reason he had to hate him was that the Starks just don't like the Lannisters. But really, it's judgmental, isn't it? Because what other reason is there to not like him apart from that? Because he killed the Mad King? Because I think that's a really stupid reason to dislike him. I mean, that was a frigging heroic thing he did there. But Ned's very black and white in his view of honour. So he saw it as a bad thing. But that was Ned's one downfall, in my opinion. Well, his naivety was another. Yeah, just a bit black and white with his ways of thinking. Because he pushes so much. Yeah, well, that is a very fair reason. But he didn't know, so you're right. If he didn't know about it, then... You know what I mean? It shows he dislikes him for other reasons. I completely forgot about that, actually. No, it's not. I didn't forget about it, but it's become such a... Like, it helped Bran that happened to him, didn't it? Like, if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't have been who he became. Oh my god, those chocolates are so melted. So many maps, I don't know which one to work on next. So yeah, I'm kind of wanting to bring in a bit of cliff area here, but I don't like it when it's only one tile of cliff. I want it to be a bit thicker, I think, because I just think that does sort of help create the depth and height. It's very challenging, you know, coming up with ideas for the maps to make them look very different, because that was my main goal. I want all these maps, these 6 maps, to look different. I want them to just be boring and repetitive. That's the easy way out. I've had these corners here. I've got them on a separate layer because if I don't, then the grass will be there behind them, which is lame. Yeah, I think I kind of want it to extend to the edge. You had to go get a cheese dip. Ooh, cheese. Now I want cheese and wine for supper. Cheese and wine is good. I hope you enjoy your cheese dip, sick boy. Oh, sorry guys, I'm very behind on chat. I've just realised that I am. Another question, sorry to trouble you with these. How would you make the player go behind a tree in the foreground versus in front of other trees in the background? Oh, okay, so for example, you mean like when the player say wants to go behind there and stuff. Well, what you do normally is, right, where is it? I do things differently to this because I'm using parallax map, but there should be a way in here somewhere. I can't remember which because I don't do it this way. But if you have a little look at a video or a guide or download the software, a mess around will probably let you do that. But what I do, because I'm doing a parallax map, is I just have an overlay basically. I have a PNG file, transparent file with just the tops of the trees, and and that goes at the top, the very top, that overlay. And so having that overlay will give the impression that the player's going behind the trees. And yeah, it's very time consuming doing it that way because I have to manually do it in Photoshop with the trees, but it's worth it if it means you have a more detailed map. But you can do things with tile set alone, but you're very limited with what you can have. Like I wouldn't have been able to have all these flowers here if I use tile sets. Let's catch up with chat. But no worries, Amir. Don't worry about asking questions. It's fine. And I get a bit behind with chat then, but I always catch up. I'd always catch up with chat. Maybe not, but it's like justifying abuse. If you weren't abused, you've never been successful. It's more like despite your abuse, you'll become successful. Yeah, and I'm not excusing it. What he did was terrible. It's the worst thing, in my opinion, he did in the whole show. And I think the fact that it was the very first episode of season 1 was a very good decision, because it instantly made people hate him and get an impression, a perception of him because of it. That's what made his character so interesting in a way, when everybody started to grow to like him, because it was almost like, but this is the guy that pushed a boy out of tower, and I actually like this guy, what's going on? I think that's really interesting, how it can make you like somebody that isn't. Why have we got loads of arrows here? Guys, is there a ton of arrows on your end? Is it broke? Because there is on my end. I apologise. What the freak? Let's catch up with chat first. I do sit-ups in the gym so that I can get a biz and also can get some misuse and veloot. 6-pack. I make the cheese best you've ever eaten. I want to try it. I want cheese now. I like cheese. I've been eating too much dairy though, and it makes me have a tummy ache. I love egg, I love cheese, and I love yogurts, and I love milk, so it's really bad if I have too much of it. I think I'm lactose intolerant now because of it. You're proud of your abs. I'm proud of my 0% muscly body. Somebody came in chat, like literally just at the start of stream today, and said I was very muscly, and I laughed. I had to laugh. Because that is like the most... If someone wants to troll me, telling me I'm muscly is like the most silly thing. Because I've never been to the gym a day in my life. Like ever. I like your approach to creating the maps. Thank you, Amia. And I'm a noob. I mean, I've never... This is the first time I've really gave it a go, designing maps in a game. Properly, anyway. I have, like, messed about with this software when I was younger, but I never did anything any good. So it's been interesting to do it, and I'm sure I've still got a lot to learn myself. That's part of the fun, isn't it? And this isn't exactly how I want it to look. There's too many square bits, but we're going to sort those out. I want to just, I want to make it lumpy and realistic looking. But still look nice, if you know what I mean. Drago, hello, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good Monday. You love your six-pack so much you're protecting it with the layer of fat. That's funny. Looks like Rose's joined unicorn with the cursor. I don't know what's happened, guys. I think it's everything's crashed because in my OBS preview I've got like there's like a bazillion arrows on the screen, and maybe you guys that's what you can see. But on my end, an RPG Maker, it's totally fine. So give me a minute. I'm gonna have to see what's going on here. I might have to close RPG Maker and refresh it. Yeah, we'll have to start the software up again. I don't know what happened there. That's never happened before. Is it possible to send food through the mail? You're going to send me some cheese dips? That'd be funny. Be all mouldy, wouldn't it? That's better though, guys, isn't it? So this here, I like what I've done here, but it's still too square. I want squares. Yeah, see what I mean? If I copy them, like, because right clicking with my mouse, it lets you copy a tile, and then you can put the same tile there. Drago, thank you for the host. I appreciate that. Yeah, so that's the problem. So what I have to do in that situation is use one in a layer here. I had to make a transparent layer for it. I have to show off somehow. I believe you, sick boy. I believe you could always send us pictures, and even though we can't taste it, we'll see it. So you could always put the pictures in our Discords or something, and yeah, even though we can't smell or taste it, we can see it. Master Chef, yeah. One of the few things you're actually good at. Everybody's good at something. Steaks, roasted potatoes and cheese dip. Oh my god, that sounds so good. I'm not really a steak eater, but when I went to the USA, I had a steak. Rex's housemate made me one, and Rex one as well. It was so good, wasn't it? And I love steak now. Big fan. I'm still not sure I like how this is. I kind of want the area to be a bit bigger, so what I'm going to do, you can like get a square, you can drag a square, and you can just copy what you've done quite easy. So but yeah, one of my things when doing design, any kind of design, is I'm very like, I fuss over things. I can be like, no, I don't like that, and spend ridiculous amount of hours trying to get it perfect. And something like this is something I could fuss over, you know, just to get the shape right and perfect. But it really, once that's done, we just need to make the cliffs a bit more realistic, similar to how we've done on this bit. And then put the trees down here to create some illusion of it being on a lower level, like here. Put the trees down. The trees are a lot smaller here as well, so it gives the illusion that they're lower down. So I'm going to do the same with this map here. So this bit looks higher up. And this section here will have a ladder. And it'll lead back to this map. And the player will come out here. And there'll be a ladder and they can go down back to the village, which is here. This is our little village. And I do want to make a parallax map of this and just put some flowers on the sides, on the edges, should I say. And just because then it'll be more, when they go into the Everbloom Forest, it won't be as sudden with the flowers. I admire people who can cook. I've never had the patience to cook. Yeah, my dad loves cooking, and I think you have to have a passion for it, because if you don't, you'll just get bored of doing it. Because cooking is very time consuming. It was delicious. I want another one now. Are you using any plugins? I am, Drago. Here they are. They're very disorganised though. All the Yanfly ones are here though. Oops. Let's cancel that. Accidentally moved one, and it's not a good idea to move plugins because it can ruin things. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. So I've got a few, but I do want to organise it. I want to like separate them and put them into categories when I get a bit of time. But it's mainly like the Yanfly ones, like battle plugins, to just make it better, the game really, and more features. So yeah, as you can see, there they are. If you can find someone that can cook right there, phenomenal. Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a good thing, sick boy. I recently got an instant film camera. Ooh, sounds fancy. You should organise them alphabetically by the 5th, the 9th and the 23rd character in your banner. Hi Liquid, how you doing? I hope you're doing good. Hope you're having an awesome day. Yeah, this one's almost done, but we just need to add the flowers. I kind of might mess about with the lake a bit more so it looks a bit prettier maybe. That needs editing, need to add trees, and yeah, this one's just a big black screen. But I've decided what it's going to be. It's going to be a fork. It's gonna there's going to be 2 paths, one going that way and one going that way. But this is where the boss is going to be, guys, and we don't even know who the first boss is going to be yet. We haven't decided. But when the time comes in the game when we want to do that, we will have a vote. I'll probably get some enemy graphics and of the ones that could be the boss, and you guys all vote, and the one that gets the most votes will be the one that ends up being the boss. And then we can think of the story behind it and stuff, and why they're a boss and why they want to kill us. Who'd want to kill our adventurers? We're awesome. Not bad. Glad to hear that. What you been up to, Liquid? So what is this game about? Oh, well, that's an interesting question. Other than it being a fantasy game, there's not really much else to say, because this is improvised, right? This game is like made by me and the community. Well, I'm the one making it, but the community are like helping me with the story and ideas and stuff and lore, and we make the story up as we go along actually, so we don't actually know what the plot is yet. Because we're still on the first dungeon, so we're very much in the early days. And every time there's more added to the story, we do it as we go along. It's a bit kind of like D&D, how the dungeon master creates the story and everyone improvises as they go along. It's going to be similar to that. But we do have the first chapter up, so exclamation mark story. Yesterday on Instagram I posted the first part of the first chapter, which was half of it was written by me and the other half was written by a community member who won the poll, because everyone can put their ideas to the story. That's how it all works. It's all explained in a doc. I have well, it's in the panels actually, I think. I don't think I've got a command with the doc. There's like an FAQ Google doc I made that has a lot of questions that are answered. But if you follow the Twitter, it does link to that. Playing WoW, watching Spider-Man, right now looking at some code to make sure some issues with file names isn't something we're doing wrong. Ooh, playing WoW. How's WoW anyway? Because I've been talking about Final Fantasy 14. That's been my MMO. And it's so good. Like, I'm really impressed with this new expansion. I'm wondering what WoW's like in comparison, but it's going to be hard for anything to beat Final Fantasy 14 for me now. Cause it's just amazing. What can I say? Super chill. Just saw the new Spooderman movie. Spooderman. You loved it. I'm so bad with superhero movies. I've not watched any of them. I'm a Superman movie nerd. Although my waifu, Natalie Portman, is apparently the new female force. So that's something, I have to say. This looks a little bit too, I want it to be a bit more bumpy. I'm going to put some keep forgetting to press Alt, Shift with that. Hunting rares, trying to get an achievement for a mount that looks like gear. Ooh. New favourite Spider-Man movie. Everybody's seen it apart from me. It's the only Marvel movie that feels like an anime, yeah? Silent Lost loves anime, yeah? Gonna see it tomorrow. Hope you enjoy it, Tetsu. Everybody was obsessed with the Avengers movies that came out recently, and I've not watched any of those for years. Yeah, I think already it's like, compared to what it looked like at first, it's getting better. You can tell that's a raised cliff top. It's gonna look so pretty when the flowers are there. If only the flowers were easy to add. I am glad I made this be a flower forest though, because it's pretty. It's pretty. I'm thirsty. It's Salah Super Ultra Hyper Miracle loves anime. Well, I have a question for you, Silent. What is your favourite anime ever? I'm intrigued what the biggest anime fan of all time's favourite anime is. I'm excited for Thor Love and Thunder. Yeah, I would watch that one just because Natalie Portman is in it. and she's not been in anything for quite a long time. And I love her, so. Best anime ever, Death Note. Amia, it's my favourite too. Death Note's my favourite, and I feel like really cliche saying that because it's a very popular anime, and some people think, you know, I've had some people like judge me for liking Death Note the most, but I just think it's so good, you know, it's just so good. I don't care if it's popular. I don't care. And one problem I've had, like, I watched Death Note years ago, absolutely years ago, back when I was at college, when I was like a teenager. But the problem I had since watching it is that I've struggled to get into other anime because it's not as good to me. I really just like that dark, dramatic, serious setting that a lot of animes seem to lack, because a lot of them are goofy and cheesy. But I like the serious ones, like Death Note. My favourite is Robotech. It'll be my favourite till the day I die, yeah? Is that an action one? I always like dialogue-driven animes more than action-driven ones. So if anyone's got any like really good, like any kind of Death Note type of animes to recommend that are really good, I would certainly watch them. Anything that's very like interesting and dialogue-driven and with good characters and stuff, that's serious. My favourite anime is your favourite anime because I can enjoy anything and everything. Death Note is my favourite too. Awesome. I'm really glad there's some Death Note fans here. Is mainstreamers. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like anime snobs, people that are anime snobs, when I've told them Death Note's my favourite, they like look at me as a fake anime fan because they think, well, that's really mainstream, so you obviously don't want to listen to your opinion anymore. You don't know good anime, especially because you've listened to them in English dub. Get out. And it's too snobby for me. Always, it's like, I do like watching anime in English dub, so I don't care. Steins Gate. Oh, is that a good one? Like Death Note? Yeah, I would give me all the Death Note inspired animes, guys. Anything that's similar to Death Note, better than it, just as good as it, I will totally watch it. Trigun is your favourite? Yeah. I would love to watch another anime series for sure. I would like to. One thing I love about the medium is that there exist genres that are neither drama or action. This is unheard of in Western media. Yeah. That's true. An action and dialogue. It's an old school though, from the 80s. It's a mashup of 3 anime stitched together into one story over 3 generations. Ooh. I'm more likely to want to watch a shorter anime with, say, less than 50 episodes than one that, say, is like Naruto that has absolutely hundreds of episodes, because it just takes forever to get through when they've got absolutely hundreds. All anime fans are fake fans. I like dubs too, yeah. Some people think the English dubs are cringy, but sometimes it's done really well. Like, I think Death Note English dub was really well done, for example. But yeah, I do agree that it's mainstream. I mean, I made my mom and dad watch Death Note, right? And they're like in their 50s and 60s. And yeah, they've never watched an anime in their life. They don't even know what anime is. But I made them watch Death Note and they really liked it. So it's true, Death Note is the kind of anime that even your grandparents would watch. But it's very like, there's something so like, something about the story that would fit everybody, that everybody could enjoy. Code Geass, Attack on Titan, Steins Gate, Monster, Tokyo Ghoul, Madoka Magica, or I've seen some of Monster. I started watching that after Death Note, and I really actually liked it, but then I had a friend that said to me that it gets really terrible and that I should give up watching it, and that kind of put me off, which is a shame because I actually kind of liked what I saw. But my friend was like, "Oh, don't carry on with that. It gets bad." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Bit of a shame. I love Negama. Ooh, okay. There's a lot there I've not heard of. I heard of the one called Code Geass, and that's got recommended to me too. But yeah, I definitely wanna start watching one. I mean, the one that always gets mentioned is what's it called? My Hero Academia. That's one that I get told to watch. Is it really that good? Is it definitely is it overrated, or is it actually good? Yeah, I think it's mainly this part that now. I think this part here is quite cool now, but this part needs changing. It's a bit square and blocky. Oh, you haven't seen that? I thought Silent would have watched every single anime in the world. The favourites include Getchaman. Yeah, that one. The second one, Evangelion, I can't say it. That one I've heard of, and I've got some friends that really like that one, but I still can't say the name. And a lot of another one that somebody's told me to watch is Berserk, which I know is meant to be quite an old anime, but I really like some of the music in that. But I've not seen it. I prefer slice of life and romance shows the most. You like romance? I never knew Silent Loss was a shipper. I can be a bit of a romantic. That's my secret. This music's from Final Fantasy VIII. I love listening to Final Fantasy music while doing this. My kids love it. Whereas is a hardcore shipper. I do. I wouldn't say I ship every single couple in stuff that I rec, but when I do ship a couple, I ship it really hard. Like Jamie and Brienne from Game of Thrones. I was so obsessed with that shit. I didn't ship John and Danny though, like a lot of people did. So that's what I mean. Sometimes I don't ship if it doesn't fit with me right. Sport animes, am I? There's actually sport animes. What if I don't like sport? What's a sport anime? Describe what that is. Do they just like play footy or something, or tennis in every episode? If you like feature film anime, I wish I could pronounce Japanese words. Perfect Blue, Millennium Actress, and Paprika. Why have I not heard of all these? Sadly, you passed young. That's a shame. I do think there's so much talent. Talented Japanese writers and composers, should I say. Like, there's so much. So I really would like to get into another anime again, because I really have faith in the medium. Sports in anime and not like watching sports. Character novels about growth and working hard. Oh, that's cool. Bit like a coming of age sort of thing then. Liquid likes the grannies. You shipped you and Melisandre. It was she your waifu, Liquid, that red witch. Is that the type of lady you like, the evil ones? I had a friend, a male friend that was obsessed with all the evil ones in Game of Thrones. He loved Melisandre, he loved Cersei. He liked all those ones. Quite interesting. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Why? Why do some people like the evil ones and some like the good ones? Why do I like the bad ones? Why do I always go for the... I mean, I don't go for bad. I like bad male characters and that. They're not the ones I like. I just like the ones that I suppose are maybe bad but are actually good. If that makes sense. The misunderstood ones, should I say. Before I figured out how to use RPG Maker, I just put random blocks together without saving it. Yeah? Well, you got to, haven't you? It's good to experiment. I'm putting random blocks together too right now. Helen isn't old, but the actual character's true appearance was ancient. Yeah? Helen Mirren is an old lady. Yeah, Melisandre's played by somebody called what's the name now? I'd know if I saw it. She's a Dutch lady. Melisandre's actresses. But yeah, Helen Mirren's actually a Hollywood actress, isn't she? She wasn't in Game of Thrones. Oh yeah, that's it, Liquid. That's right. But she's up for an Emmy as well, I think. Because all the Game of Thrones actors and stuff are up for Emmys and that now. So, be interesting to see who wins. I think there was like about 9 or 10 of them that were put up for Emmys. I need to make this bit a bit. She played a witch she was with Sean Bean in a film. Sean Bean's in everything. Has anybody ever seen the... what was it called? Let me have a look. I need to figure out what this film is called again. It was an old film. And they did a remake of it. That's it, The Hitcher. That's it. I think it was like a very old film from a few decades ago. But they did a remake of it about 10 years ago. And Sean Bean was in it, and he was a psychopath. Oh my goodness, he was evil. And like when I watched that film, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe Ned Stark's turned evil. Sean Bean's really good at playing like bad guys, though, I have to say. I saw the original Hitcher as a kid. Yeah, in the new one, Sean Bean is evil. You will be glad that Ned Stark, what happened to him happened after watching that film. Oh, it's horrible. Yeah, this last section here is like probably the last bit I need to edit it with this. I'm pretty satisfied with that, and I think once the trees are there on the bottom bit and the top bit and the flowers and these cliffs are made a bit less straight, that'll be quite a nice pretty map, I think. I'm fine with that one. And this one is coming along okay too. We just need to put some more ledges in the middle and on the right. It's just this map really that I need to do, but it won't be too bad. I'll be working on these maps off stream, guys, and also getting the flowers down as well off stream. So I'm hoping, well, I'm aiming by Monday next week for the next Monday stream that the 6 maps will all be done, and then we can start focusing on other things. And yeah, that'll be fun. Hooray! Progress. Yeah, I never actually saw the original one, but I heard it was good. Sean Bean, poor, he lost work. Oh, wow. That made me laugh, Rex. Rex, like, said that really seriously when he first watched season 1 Game of Thrones. And I was like, but Sean Bean's like, he don't need work. He's like freaking the most successful actor in the whole thing, you big silly villain. Surely one does not simply walk. Yeah, he was in freaking Lord of the Rings. He's like a huge name. I mean, would you say he is probably the biggest star, right, of all the seasons, would you say, in Game of Thrones? I can't think of anybody else that is probably as big a name as him, but maybe I've missed somebody. I mean, I know there's some very good and experienced actors in Game of Thrones, but not to Sean Bean's level, I'd say. Solo Polo Vision, it's just a psycho film from what I... It's like a movie about a psychopath that kills everybody. And Sean Bean's the psychopath. Hi Radiant, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Yes, and if you want to find out more about the project, that is the command to find out. It's something we can all get involved in, guys. But if you wanna keep updated, the Twitter is the best place to go. And I stream every Monday. This time every single Monday. It's quite interesting, you know, guys, being a streamer that only streams once a week now. I mean, I used to stream 3 times a week. But recently, like literally very recently, I've changed to once a week, and it's very interesting to do because I don't know any other streamer on Twitch that does that. Most streamers either stream most weekdays, or you know, at least 4 or 5 or 3 times a week, or very rarely, like once in a blue moon. I don't know anyone that just has a once a week schedule. So it's pretty interesting, right? I loved it when they had to start putting Peter Dinklage first in the Game of Thrones credits. I always found that a really interesting choice, you know, how Peter Dinklage and Nikolai, who plays Jamie, were always first and second billed, when clearly it's Jon Snow and Daenerys that are the main characters of the show. And yet Kit Harington and Emilia Clarke that play Jon and Dany were always way lower down in the credits than yeah, it's I wondered about that. Guessing you've never seen The Mighty Boosh? I haven't, no. I haven't seen. I do know of the show Tetsu. I'm very familiar with the name, but I've just never seen it. What program are you building your map in? RPG Maker MV, Radium. It's a RPG making software that's on Steam, and it's pretty neat. You can like literally make an RPG in it. It's have I messed up the Lightfall map there? I might have. Oh, I messed up Yeah, I messed up my map. I'll sort that out later. Yeah, it's just look up RPG Maker MV and you'll find out more about it. It's really a nice, easy engine to use if you've ever fancied making an RPG game. You don't even have to be an expert coder or anything. The only actors with as much prestige as Sean Bean starting in Game of Thrones may be Charles Dance, Tywin Lannister, or Shane McShane, the preacher that saved Sandor. Yes! Even my mum and dad knew who he was. He was only in one episode, but they were like, oh my god, he's in Game of Thrones. And I didn't have a clue who he was. But Charles Dance is an absolute legend. I just absolutely think he's an incredible actor. Hello, nice to see you again. Hi, Rob. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good Monday. Hope things have been treating you well. Okay, so I'm okay with this now, I'd say. I'm okay with the shape of how this is. We've made it not look straight. It looks more natural now. This is more or less done, but I kind of want to change this second one here so it isn't just a repeat of the first pattern. We don't want it to be a complete copy. After all, forests don't repeat themselves. Like, it's very natural and it shouldn't look symmetrical or anything like that. Kit and Amelia's agents weren't as good, obviously. Yeah, that was that is probably the only explanation. But yeah, they really should have been first and second build, just because they clearly are the actors that got the most screen time in the show. I mean, Peter Dinklage probably got quite a bit too, but I don't think he's classed as a supporting actor though, judging by the Emmys. The Emmy nominations as Peter Dinklage in as a supporting actor, alongside Nikolai and Alfie that plays Theon, and Kit is up for main actor nomination. So yeah, Peter Dinklage is a supporting actor. He'll probably win it though, because Tyrion always wins. He always wins the Emmys. They love him. Ed Sheeran is the biggest name in Game of Thrones. Yeah, Ed Sheeran was in Game of Thrones. He made a short appearance. Doing great. For me, it's more of a Sunday since I got no work, so it's a little sad. Ah, Sundays are good days though, aren't they? Nice day to chill. It was throwaway dialogue for some prostitutes, but it was referring to Ed Sheeran. I forgot. I actually forgot Ed Sheeran was in it until I watched it again with Rex. This is a little bit straight. I think the bigger you are, the higher build you get, and if you're just so much bigger than anyone else in the cast, you get put in the end after and. Yeah, in season 1, Peter Dinklage was in that. He was and, wasn't he? We're really lucky that they. Yeah. Yeah. Peter Dinklage is good, but you know, I think all the cast are incredible. He's definitely more talented than the others. Something looks a bit weird about that, but I'll probably just make it go up a bit. There we go. How the hell is it already 6 PM, guys? Guys, it's time for me to go. What the hell? I have really lost track of time today. I tell you what, doing mapping, you can easily get sucked in and hours can pass you by without realising. And we're still very much, the maps are nowhere near done, but that's how time consuming mapping is. So I'm going to get some done on my days off and throughout the week, and at least have some pretty new maps to show you for next time, guys. But I'm going to remind you about the poll. So if you haven't joined our Discord yet, it's a great place to be, because this is where we do all the voting for the game. And we do have a poll up. Here it is. So that link I've just put in chat will lead you to this poll. And I'm just really intrigued to see what you guys enjoy the most on stream. And you don't just have to vote for one. You can vote for all of them or a few of them if you want. And it'll just give me a bit of feedback on what the community likes the most, and what direction to take the streams in the most as well. Even though the streams will probably feature quite a bit of all of them at some point. But thanks guys for hanging out. Thanks Rex, thanks Silent. I appreciate it. It's been a really fun stream, and I always look forward to catching up with you on Mondays and showing you the progress in the game. So I will see you next Monday at the same time, which is, let's have a look. Where's our schedule? So it is 2:30 PM BST if you live in the UK like me, but if you're in the other time zones, it's got it all here. So and it's also